Well, it is about that time again of the evening that we are live with the Platinum Racing F4 series. Welcome everyone to this evening's coverage of the third race of the Platinum Racing F4 series at Okayama today. Okayama, a very interesting circuit, of course, in the middle of Japan, opened as a former motor cycle track in 1990. Now we race here with F4. Its first race was held, of course, in 1994, won by Michael Schumacher. Of course, in his early title-winning years, he won at that track. But yeah, now our drivers are taking their turns to drive around the track. And let's take a look at the drivers then. A little bit of drought with the amount of drivers. Sadly, only 12 of them in here today. One of them is Jorge Lopez. He has been competitive throughout all of this. Jesse Doorgeest is also one of them. Then we have Axel Guismel, a very difficult name to pronounce. I'm just going to call him Axel, because it's a French name and I'm not that good at that language. Neither am I in pronouncing their names. Winston Eckel is in 5th at the moment in this practice session for Platinum Racing Team, making his debut in the F4 Series with Platinum as he goes around. With Platinum Racing Team, of course, not racing for a team, but of course everyone races for his or himself. Making his debut for Platinum Racing Team, not the real team though. He is still an academy driver, Franklin Groot. He is at the moment still in the PRT Academy. So here we have him. Franklin Groot was trying to find the right camera angle. He is making his debut out there today for the team. And we have, of course, Martin Hobson, very competitive driver as well. As a lot of others in that team. A lot of Platinum Racing Team drivers are here today. Finn Willis, the new drivers today in his almost all black livery. We not only have, of course, the racing today to talk about, we have something else to talk about as well, and that is, of course, the F4 standings. Vincent Ossam's leading the category. He is not here today, as are a lot of drivers. Winston Eckel is in 2nd, Fedor Kuman in 3rd. He will not race in the championship anymore. He has withdrawn from the championship. Jorge Lopez with 47 points in 4th, looking really, really strong today. Behind that it's Rolf Müller with 35 in 5th. Just behind that we have Sven Merckx, a really competitive driver for the first 2 races at least in this F4 series. Has really been up there with one of the big names, of course, or with the big names, I have to say. He has been up there with them. Rolf Müller, of course, he is not here today. Fedor Kuman isn't, so he will try and overtake them. Vincent Ossams isn't here. I do not think he can overtake Vincent Ossams. Fedor Kuman maybe, but Rolf Müller he will definitely overtake today. So if he can jump up just that one position, he's having his best season so far for Platinum Racing Team and himself. Morgan Butler in 7th, also not here today, just as Lars Bachmann. Then we have Matthew Briggs. Seems like he isn't here either. Jesse Doorgeest, of course, one of the fast drivers in round 1 at Aradimala. He is here today with us, luckily. And we have Marnix Heister, a very young talent, of course founder of Platinum Racing League, but he has a lot of talent in these cars. Trying to work his way up the order. Daniel Dan Weber, he is also on 26 points together with Marnix in 12th, so they both share 11th. Then we have Danny Burns in 13th. Orhan Akes, he is in 14th with 22 points, just 1 point behind Danny. And we have Hannes Müller, he's in 15th with 19 points, just ahead of Idar Gjerdevik. I hope that is how I pronounce it. Idargerdevik is how I pronounce it. I think that's what he said last time. Jake Smedley, he is here with us today. He'll be looking to jump up a couple of positions, maybe try and get into the left hand side of this table, try and get up into the top 15. Benjamin Higginbotham, he is in 18th with 10 points, as is Marcus Grülle, also in 18th with 10 points. Hugo Akerson in 20th with 9 points, just as is Tim van Ellerswijk. Looks like he isn't there either. A lot of drivers that are towards the top of the standings aren't here, so a lot of drivers will be trying to take advantage of that. And then last but not least of the point scoring drivers, Michael Fitzpatrick. And we have Pino Krijeveld, Thor Tulo, Shane McNeely, Thomas Mocek, Christian Glamsetero, I don't know how to pronounce that one, but we'll call him Christian, James Folks, Eric Cox, and Andrew Stables isn't. They are not here. And I just realized it's Christian Glemseter, because that O, what I thought was an O, is a 0, of course, for 0 points. Well, having said all of that, it's now almost time to jump into qualifying. 5 seconds left. And drivers are, I guess, looking forward, or I know for sure that they are looking forward to qualifying. A lot of drivers will, of course, have practiced a lot for this round. Not an easy track with these cars, of course. So a lot of drivers will have practiced a lot out here today. Magnus Heister is the first one out, so we are going to stay with him for now. Let's see what they can do. 15 minutes of qualifying, and we have a 15-minute sprint race and then a 20-minute feature race, wherein a lot of things can happen. Magnus Heister, one of the drivers that will be looking to try and take advantage of the fact that a lot of top drivers aren't here today. Jake Smedley is, I think, just behind him there in the background. Yes, that is Jake Smedley, of course, in that bright red livery. Pick him out very, very well. Heister then. Talking about this Okayama circuit, of course, first race held in 1994, won by Michael Schumacher. He won again in 1995. The race was held as the Formula One Pacific Grand Prix. That was the name of the Grand Prix. Of course, made them, Japan, one of the 9 countries to, of course, host a race 2 times in the same season. So Japan was really, really happy with, of course, getting that Grand Prix out there. Looking then at Magnus Heister, still warming up his tires. Second lap is usually the fastest lap for these cars, but we'll get a reference time in at the end of all of this. Finn Willis, of course, our debutant for today. He will be, he at the moment is purple in Sector 1 and Sector 2. 4 sectors here today. so not the usual 3. Here we go then, looking with Morningshuis now coming onto the start-finish line. Here we go. What can he set for a lap time as a reference? Incidental purple in the 3rd sector. That lap time is not going to stand, I think. No, it isn't. He had an off-track in there. That explains why he is that slow. Winston. What can he set there? Winston is a 1:30.075. Finn Willis jumps just ahead of that with a 1:29.878. Looking then with Morningshuis, what can he do? A little bit of dirt kicked up there on the entry. Axel Guzmel, or Axel as we're going to call him, is at the moment on a purple 2nd sector, and he has purple mini sectors in the 3rd one as he goes purple there as well. So looking good that lap for him. He's just ahead of this Morningshuis. So he'll be looking to jump up ahead of Finn Willis. Here we go then. Morningshuis trying to keep the car in a reasonably straight line. On the grass there, not really where you want to be. That makes his tires dirty for this right-hander as Axel goes to the top. The 1:29.548. What is Morningshuis going to do then? Behind this, it's also Winston Eckel improving. Morningshuis' time is just going to be a little bit slower than that. Here he is then, Winston Eckel coming across the line. Oh, just behind Morningshuis as Finn Willis comes through to put in a faster lap time. One of the faster drivers, Jesse Dorkins, hasn't set a lap time yet. He is always absolutely pushing it, leaving nothing, absolutely nothing untouched. So he'll be looking to try and get everything out of that lap. Jesse Dorkins purple, of course, in sector 3. It's all or nothing most of the times for him. So most of the times when he, of course, gets ahead of everyone, he is gone for sure. But it's all or nothing, so most of the times when he is in qualifying, he gets an off track and that just ruins his lap. But he had such a good lap. What is this lap going to do for him then? Like I said, it's all or nothing for him. So again, an off track in there. What can Winston Eckel do with a purple 2nd sector? Finn Willis again with an improvement in the 2nd to last sector. Morningshuis is just behind this as well. What is he going to be able to do? The answer is not a lot. Sven Merckx improving right behind this. Finn Willis didn't improve by 0.08 of a second. Jesse Dorkins though, he is again on a flyer. Let's hope for him that he does not have an off track this time. That this lap does not get deleted for track limits. Purple in sector 3 as well, so he's going even faster than he was last time around. It's Jesse Dorkins, Winston Eckel in 4th with a purple 1st sector. Again, improvement in sector 3, but first Jesse Dorkins is going to come across the line. Let's see what he can do. We'll move to Winston Eckel after that. Jesse Dorkins comes across the line to put in the time of 1:29.178. Very, very fast lap time for him. Let's look at what Winston Eckel can do then. He comes across the line in just a little bit of time. Here he is then, Winston Eckel across the line. And it's a 129.329. Marnix Heiser improves as well just behind that. Of course, matter of fact, that slipstream just touching the grass on the outside there, and Winston is gone. Yes, Dorcas, can he improve again? Green in sector 1. Two drivers that haven't sat their lap times yet are Danny Burns and Jorge Lopez. And Franklin Groot hasn't sat a lap time yet. Yes, Dorcas again purple in sector 1. Then he is just behind, I think, Franklin, so he's gonna get held up here a little bit. Franklin setting his own lap, I think, or is it Martin Hobson? I think it's Martin Hobson ahead of him. Martin Hobson comes across the line. He does not improve. Yes, Dorcas, does he improve though? Yes, he does do a 128.98. That is the first one, or the first driver that can go into the 128s in qualifying. Still 6 minutes to go in qualifying though, so a lot of time for drivers to do exactly that. Go into the 128s, jump up a position. Sven Merckx currently in 6th. Can he jump up though? Across the line. His time is going to be 1:30.114, not improving. Marnix Heiser, does he improve? No, he does not. He had an off track in that lap. Jake Smedley then in 8th currently. He's going to come across the line. Can he improve? Don't think so. No, he's a long way off. He's a long way off an improvement. Axel Guzmel, where is he? He's currently 3rd, improving in sector 2 and 3. No personal best in sector 1, but can he improve? Touching the grass there on the outside, that will not help him. Onto the start finish line, and a good accident, some slipstream from Martin Hobson ahead. Is this going to be a personal best? The answer is no, it's not. The 129.390, not a personal best. Here then, listen to this. Marnix Heiser, purple in sector 1. Can he perform when it matters in qualifying? Green in sector 3 as well, just behind his teammate Winston Eckel, who does improve in sector 3, just as Marnix Heiser. But what can Marnix do? The slipstream onto the main straight. This is going to help him just that little bit across the line. And the answer is, it is a personal improvement, but not a improvement in position. Yes, Dorgeest, purple in sector 1, I can tell you that. There you can see it on your screen. Again improving. The gap is currently already 2.5 tenths. Can he open that gap up just a little bit more to give himself a little bit more confidence that that first place is going to be his? Again purple in the 3rd sector. This man can't stop improving. Here we go then, onto the last couple of corners. Onto the straight we go across the line, and that time is going to be 128.927, and that is an improvement, not by much, but by a couple of hundredths of a second. And that is just a little bit too much from him. Sven Merckx, what can he do then across the line? 12.5 minutes done in qualifying, 2.5 to go. A lap round here, 120 or a 132 if you drive a little bit slowly. So maybe 2 more laps for Sven, not 1 more. Oh, and he has to take avoiding action there. I don't know who that was, but I think it is Winston Eckel, yes, it was Winston Eckel. We have at the moment Jesse Dorkis again improving in sector 2. That was the sector where he has gone yellow last time round, so that is a sector that wasn't optimum for him. You can see sector 1 and 3 where he went purple last time round. Those two are now yellow, so that is not a personal improvement. It would be very difficult to do, of course. As we get closer to, as we enter the closing stages of qualifying. Just one lap left for Jesse Dorkis. Can he improve on this one? Martin Hobson again just ahead of this. The answer is no, he can't. He can't improve again. His lap time is pretty optimized, it looks like. Who is really improving? Martin Hobson improved last time around. Franklin Groot now finally has set a lap time. He's 1.8 seconds off of Michael van Ellerswijk. So he's a long, long way off the pace currently. Welcome everyone and thank you for tuning in. Martin Hobson improving in sector 1. Can he continue that in sector 2? No, we can't. He is on an outlap, I think, Franklin Groot. So really interesting this. Is he going to be able to get across the line? No, I think he isn't, because the qualifying cuts off when the timer hits 15. So Jesse Dorkis again purple. Martin Hobson improving ahead of him. Oh, as Jesse Dorkis spins, and that is sad for that lap time. That will make that lap time not count. Axel Guzmel just ahead of this. Green in sector 3. Can he keep this positive momentum going? Onto the main straight he goes. Behind this it is Martin Hobson who we look at. Does he improve? The answer is no, he does not, and that was very, very close. But we have our starting grid for the race. Let's take a look at it. We don't have to scroll through any screens because only 12 drivers sadly here today, and I think only 10 of them will be starting. It is Jesse Dorkis in first. Of course, pole position for him. Very happy he will be with that. Finn Willis in second. Axel Guzmel in third. Fourth is Winston Eckel. Fifth, Marnix Heister. Sven Merckx is sixth. Seventh is Martin Hobson. Eighth is Jake Smedley. Michael van Ellerswijk in ninth. 10th is Franklin Groot. 4.1 seconds off the pace at the end. Really, really off the pace. Jorge Lopez didn't set a lap time, as did Danny Burns. Well then, having said that, let's look at the race info real quick. Of course, Okayama, the circuit is 3.65 kilometers long. Platinum Racing League, of course, the place to compete if you want competitive racing. Then, of course, the full course we use, located in Japan, city Okayama, so the circuit named after the city, and an altitude of 266 meters above sea level. Track temperature is 39 degrees, so pretty hot for the drivers, and the ambient temperature 31 degrees. It's partly cloudy for the drivers, so it will cool down a little bit, but the wind is also a factor to take into account. 14 kilometers an hour, so that will be something the drivers will notice. Well then, it has been a week since we had the race at Brands Hatch. There is Jesse Dorkis, our leader and our pole man. The gridding is now done, as there are the lights. They are now all red, and they're out, and we are underway for the first race of this evening's PRL F4 Series race. 12 people starting the race. Danny Burns and Jorge Lopez Esposito starting the race from the back. Immediately Finn Willis in second place ahead of Axel Guzmel. Winston Eckel kept this position. Sven Merckx has gained one at the cost of Marnix Heister. Just behind that, Jake Smedley trying to go up the inside of Martin Hobson. That is not going to happen. Martin Hobson then just ahead of that. Marnix Heisler is just behind Sven Merckx. He will be looking to try and gain that position back. As we have a move for second place, Axel Guismel almost touching the leader there, Jesse Dorkeest. He won't be happy with that if that happens. Winston Eckel, of course, our second place man in the championship, our leading man, because Vincent isn't here in the championship. Finn Willis demoted down to P3. Axel Guismel up into P2 now, trying to hunt down Jesse Dorkeest. Axel Guismel fastest in the first sector, fastest in the second. Finn Willis or Winston Eckel now, and fastest in the third. Jesse Dorkeest. So really all over the place, the fastest sectors. So that tells you just how competitive this series is. Then of course now coming across the line, Jesse Dorkeest does set the fastest last sector here. We have of course Marnix Heisler right behind Sven Merckx. Sven Merckx will not move, he will refuse to, knowing Sven Merckx. He will not want to go out of the way. Then Marnix Heisler onto the back of Sven Merckx. Or is that? That is Martin Hobson on the back of Marnix Heisler actually. Martin Hobson trying to attack Marnix Heisler, but Marnix Heisler now caught up behind Sven Merckx. So we're on top now, going down the inside of Sven Merckx. It's behind there by the spinner. I think that's Martin Hobson falling down the order. Jake Smedley picks up a position there as Marnix Heisler gets past Sven Merckx. Winston Eckel driving away now. As you can see, it's a PRT party at Okayama. Sven Merckx, Marnix Heisler, Winston Eckel, Martin Hobson, Franklin Groot, all in Platinum Racing Team colors. Now we have Martin Hobson of course trying to attack Jake Smedley here. Jake Smedley tries to cover the inside, but was a little bit too late with that move. Of course, he also carrying a red livery, not in any way related to the Platinum Racing Team, but red is just the color he runs. Finn Willis then on his own now. But we have a battle for the lead. It's Axel Guismel now with the fastest lap time last time round, almost a 10th quicker than Jesse Dorkeest. Now setting a purple lap time in sector 1, or a purple sector in sector 1. 2 is for Winston Eckel, and then third sector is again, it looks like, going to be for Jesse Dorkeest. We have to wait on that one to be for sure. Axel Guismel, 4/10 is the gap now. He's pushing, and the third sector is again for Axel Guismel. So he's really looking strong here, trying to attack Jesse Dorkeest. Jesse, of course, not really high up in the championship, but a really quick driver, proven quick driver in round 1. Wasn't there, I think, at round 2, or got unlucky at least, or at the best. Coming across the line now again. Let's see what the times are. It looks like the time has gone up a bit, the 10th or so in the last sector. The answer is fastest lap time this time round for Jesse Dorkeest, almost a 10th, one back there. So that gap going back up again. And we have Jake Smedley right behind Martin Hobson. Martin Hobson not really having, or not really showing the pace he had earlier in the season. Lacking a little bit of pace, you could say. Jake Smedley then for J. Smet 43 Racing, running his own team, of course, a privateer team that is. Jake Smedley very happy with where he is at the moment. It's Winston Eckel on the back of Finn Willis. Finn Willis performing very, very well on his debut. Falling behind a little bit to the cars ahead of him. That is nothing to do with him. 10th is Franklin Groot. Danny Burns is out of the race, out of the session, I think he is. Yes, he is. 11 drivers still in the field. Very, very sad to see that we have only 11 drivers here with us today for the race. If you are not seeing any broadcast next week, keep an eye out on the Platinum Racing League Instagram channel or on the Discord if you are a driver, because it might be the case that there are not enough drivers that it is broadcast worthy, because as you can see, not a lot is happening with only 11 drivers in the field. Of course, trying to make the best of it, as we always do. Marnix Heister just behind. Winston Eckel looking to find a way past. Now they're into the last sector. Looks like at the moment Marnix Heister is a little bit faster than Winston Eckel. Winston Eckel catching up to the back of Finn Willis though. Can they overtake together maybe? Try and perform a team move. If one goes up the inside, the other one follows through. Of course, the great news that Platinum Racing Team is going to real life with karting now. I'm very honored to be a part of that as a commentator, of course, being the fastest at the karting event we had with Platinum Racing Team was of course a big part of the decision that they made to promote me up to that position. The Platinum Racing Team is very, very happy to announce that they of course are going to real life. Future plans are not really clear, but it is clear that we are going to take part as a team. That they are going to take part as a team, as we now have removed maybe Winston Eckel up the inside. Not really. That we are as a team going to real life into the karting events. It is rental carts, it's not with our own team carts. Starting out easy, and of course working our way up. That is of course the plan with everything. Martin Hobson, or I think Sven Merckx is that behind, catching up with this pack as well. What did Axel Guzmel do? He has dropped back a little bit on Jesse. Jesse really pushing this time round. Fastest lap for him and the fastest lap of the race at 28.77. What is this lap time gonna be then for him? The answer is it's gonna be a personal best. So it will be a fastest lap of the race, a 1:28.60. Looking at, of course, the fastest lap of the race. Here we have it, 1:28.609 or 600. So perfectly rounded number. Just 2.5 tenths ahead of Axel Guzmel, and he is doing that consistently. Of course, fixed setup in this one, so drivers won't be able to empty their fuel tanks in qualifying, so the times to qualifying are somewhat really similar. You're just doing, if you look at it like this, you're just doing qualifying lap after qualifying lap in the race, because you're basically driving with the same car. So we have a crash for Franklin Groot. Let's take a look at it. Here we have it. Franklin Groot. Here we have the crash into the hairpin. Just a little bit too eager on the throttle maybe. or into the right, or into the left-hander, maybe a little bit too fast. Yes, a little bit too fast into the right-hander. He keeps it in somewhat a respectable angle, so he survives that one, moves on. So now we have a big crash. Jake Smedley now crashing off. Let's look at what happened. Oh, there's no front wing on that car, so something happened before this. And then he goes around. A lot of grip on the rear, nothing on the front. That upsets, of course, the car. Let's look at what happened a little bit earlier to that. What led, of course, to him not having a front wing, because here it clearly still is on. Oh, does he go off into the tire wall? Yes, he does, and he loses his front wing there. I think lucky that that car is still straight. Jake Smedley not having the best race so far. I think that will be some pit repairs in that one. Looking down at Jake Smedley, yes, he is into the pits. That promotes Franklin Groot up one position. Ahead now, or behind now, Michael van Elliswijk, of course, making his debut for Platinum Racing Team as well as Franklin Groot. Martin Hobson, Sven Merckx, Marnix Heijsa and Winston Eckel. So positions 4 to 9 are all Platinum Racing Team drivers. No one interrupting those. Jake Smedley is now out on track again with a repaired car, or at least a somewhat repaired car, as we have just 2.5 minutes to go of this first sprint race. Yes, Dork is still in the lead. Now that lead has come down a tenth the last couple of laps, but that is a respectable margin. Another crash from Franklin Groot. Let's take a look at it. Again into the right-hander. Is the same gonna happen again, or is he this time a little bit too eager? I think the same is gonna happen. The left-hander really making a mess of that corner again. It's pretty much a replay of the crash that happened before this, but I can guarantee you it is not a crash, or at least not a spin for Franklin. Still in 9th though, not losing a position with that. Jesse Dorkist has now got through that. That Axel was gaining behind him. Nothing really happening there. Winston Eckel still right behind Finn Willis. Nothing really happening. It's been like that for quite a while now. To get a little bit closer to Finn Willis, but he just gets a better exit everywhere, better entry and exit, although it looks like Winston Eckel has got the better exit here, and of course there's an hairpin coming up, but I think he's just a little bit too far back to really get an advantage of this. Into the hairpin, really easy to lock up here. I think we have one other lap than this one. Yes, Dorkist almost has completed this lap. There's not a lot between this, of course. It's going to be close, but I think there is going to be another lap. Yes, there is. 30 seconds left. They're almost at the line. Yeah, there is going to be another lap. I can confirm that now. Winston Eckel then trying to get a little bit closer to Jesse Dorgeest. But at the pace that these drivers were going, we would have not had an extra lap. This would have been the finish. So that just tells you something about the pace that Jesse Dorgeest and Axel Ground or Axel Guzmel have. Very fast drivers, both of them. Eckel not really able to get anywhere near the back of Finn Willis. Can he gain again here? Yes, he can, but not as much as he did last time around. Looks like he's going to lose a little bit of time now to Finn. Can he maybe size up a move into the last sector? Maybe try and force Finn into a mistake. Looks like that is not going to happen. Looks like it is going to stay all like it was. Yes, Dork is having a little bit of a mare there. He was on a very, very fast lap. But he had to overtake Jake Smedley. Allowing the leaders pass now is Jake. But it is going to be Jesse Dorkes who's going to win the the sprint race here at Okayama. And it's Axel Guzmel coming in second. Third is Finn Willis, just ahead of Winston Eckel. Jesse Dorkes then a very, very mature drive from him. Finn Willis comes in third. A podium finish for him. He will be happy with that on his first race. Some drivers are still going around. Jorge Lopez is the last one, I think, to come round. He is now into the third sector. He's in the third sector at the moment. Just behind Franklin Groot. 15 seconds is the gap. He started from the pit lane. Had to almost make up a whole lap. But he is there. Just 14 seconds behind. That tells you about the pace that Jorge has. It's intense, so I think it's going to start from pole position. So he is someone to take into account, I think, at the next race. But Jesse Dorkes is picking up a lot of points in the sprint race. Jorge Lopez got to go through now to finish this one off, just 13.9 seconds behind Franklin Groot. There it is then. We have the result in for you from the sprint race. Here we have it. Jesse Dorkes wins ahead of Axel Guzmel. Finn Willis in third. Fourth, Winston Eckel. Fifth, Marnix Heijsen. Sven Merckx in sixth. Seventh, Martin Hobson. Michael van Aderswijk in eighth. Ninth is going to be Franklin Groot. Good race for him. And then we have Jorge Lopez, of course, slotting in behind Franklin Groot. Jake Smedley is in 11th. A mare of a race he had this time round. And then Danny Burns is in 12th. And not finishing the race. And not even starting it. So next race then will be the reversed top 10 grid. Well then, what a race we had in race 1. Just a little bit of time now until the beginning of the feature. Of course, we have a little bit of time in between this. Well, then it looks like that is the warm-up done for us. Now we have the feature race to contend with. Let's look at the grid then for the feature race. Like I said, Jorge Lopez, someone I think to take into account. And look what he can do. Franklin Groot, Jorge Lopez, I think one of the favorites for this race. Franklin Groot in second. Michael van Ellerswijk in third, Martin Hobson in fourth, fifth Sven Merck, sixth is Marnix Heister, seventh Winston Eckel, eighth Finn Willis, ninth Axel Guismel, 10th Jesse Dorgeest, and 11th Jake Smedley. Well then, that is complete. The 5 red lights are again on your screen.
Green flag, green flag.
And it's lights out, and we are underway for the sprint race at Okayama. A good start for Jorge Lopez. Franklin de Groot immediately up behind that. Michael van Ellerswijk is just behind that. What can Franklin Groot do? Can he keep it together? Yes, he can. Of course, the purple. And something happened there. The purple stripes on the car indicate that that car is a academy car. And he switches back beautifully there on Michael van Ellerswijk. Sven Merckx now right up alongside him. Down the inside then maybe. Is Martin Hobson going to make it 3 wide? Yes, he is. Down into the inside. Sven Merckx going to get through. And Martin Hobson tags Franklin Groot on the back. And that is a good starting position for Franklin. Down the drain. Up the inside now then maybe is Axel Guismel. Not really happening. Jake Smedley in P8. A good start for him this time round. But he gets caught up in something here. No, he doesn't. Did he keep his car straight? Yes, he did. Franklin Groot now in last position on track. 7 drivers only on track. The rest all into the pit lane. Let's look what happened here. Coming into this left-hander again, making a mock of this. Not really. Gets through cleanly now, but the other left-hander just overkicks it. Touches that one, and then just gets lucky that, of course, I think Axel Guismel gets out of the way. But now back to live pictures, and it seems like Jake Smedley is in 6th. Axel Guismel, of course, in 5th. Now trying to chase down Winston Eckel, just behind Martin Hobson. And it's Jorge Lopez now, just ahead of Sven Merckx, who is running away with the lead. A little bit sad to see, of course, the crash happened there for Franklin Groot. He's in a good position, of course. 20 minutes this race, 2.5 already done. Second lap we are in right now. Jorge Lopez already a gap of 2 seconds. Winston Eckel has got past Martin Hobson. Let's look at that pass. Here we go then. Around the outside, or up the inside actually, Winston Eckel. That is that position done for him. Axel Guismel then coming up to the back of Martin Hobson. Martin Hobson staying close to Winston Eckel. It looks like Jesse Dorgeest is out of the race, or winner of the sprint race out of the feature race in the first lap. What you want to see, of course. Michael van Ellerswijk out of the race, it looks like as well. Marnix Heister still in pit lane. But we have 3 official retirements in this race. Finn Willis, Jesse Dorgeest and Danny Burns are officially out of this race. Michael van Ellerswijk and Marnix Heister still in the pits to repair the damage. Franklin Groot though back into the race on the lead lap, 41 seconds behind Jake Smedley. Jake Smedley in 6th will be very happy with that result. Axel Gwismel now coming up to Martin Hobson and Winston Eckel. Martin Hobson trying a pass, Winston Eckel keeping ahead of him. Very, very close between those two. As now Martin Hobson gets the cutback onto the straight. Now they're side by side. Winston Eckel has the best exit. What is this going to bring for the two Platinum Racing Team drivers? Holding up each other. And Sven Merckx falling back to Jorge Lopez. Down the inside is Martin Hobson. Can he make this one stick? The answer is yes, he can, but Winston Eckel still has the inside for the left-hander. Makes that one stick. Another left-hander coming up, so basically Martin Hobson is done there already. Down the inside then now maybe of Winston Eckel. He now surely has this one done. Winston Eckel going to try and stick it around the outside. Next one is a right-hander, so he has the inside again for that one. These two are going at it, and it is Winston Eckel who defends that position successfully. Having a look up the inside of a very fast right-hander leading onto a straight is Martin Hobson. And here we go then, Martin Hobson into the slipstream of Winston Eckel. Really into the toe now. Trying to stay around the outside is Winston Eckel. And here then, Martin Hobson now around the outside has that move done. And they're going at it for the last podium spot, but they have to watch out behind because Axel Gwismel is coming up behind them. 3.2 seconds is the gap currently because these two are fighting. Kicking up a little bit of third there is Winston Eckel. And again, the inside line working for Winston Eckel. He's going to try and overtake into the hairpin. He's going to want to stay to the outside again, touching the grass on the outside. Very, very close. Winston Eckel so close to the grass. Getting a better exit here. An off-camera corner, a really tricky one. This one as well, very, very tricky. Maybe down the inside of the next left-hander. Is he going to do something? No, he isn't. He's going to stick behind for a little bit longer. Forces him into a mistake. Now maybe then around the outside. Martin Hobson keeps his car on the inside. A good exit for Winston Eckel down the inside of the fast right-hander. Not really able to do so. Oh, as Martin Hobson has a little bit of difficulties with his intranet. Dropping away for a bit. But that seems to all be done now. And then Winston Eckel into the slipstream now. He's going to try and move up the inside. Not really. He's going to stick behind for this time. Axel is catching. Yes, he is. We'll take a look, I think, at the lap times. Compared to, I think, yes, there we go. Winston Eckel, here he is then. A lot slower than Axel Gwismel. He has been gaining almost a second the last two laps. Can he do that again? Now is the question. Lap 6. Looks like he is gaining a lot on the drivers ahead of him. Martin Hobson now jumps back to the pits. That promotes Svenly up into P5. Franklin Groot into P6. Let's see what he can do this time around then. Definitely looks like he's gaining on the regular. What happened to Martin Hobson then? Let's take a look at what happened. We're going to take a look in a second. Winston Eckel's car looks to be fine from the outside. Lap 6 then. There we go. 1.1 seconds quicker again. Axel Gwismel. Taking more than a second again out of Winston Eckel. Let's take a look at what happened to Martin Hobson then. Here we are, just touching the outside. Winston Eckel had to avoid that. is Martin Upson into the wall. That is what happened to him. Axel Guzmo for the last podium spot. The support is in the chat. So he has the fan boost, if we can call it that. The fans are counting on him taking Winston Eckel. But it seems like Jorge Lopez is going to win this one, because he has led all the way since the start. As you can see now, the top speed of these cars. I think they get the top speed onto the back straight. This car only has 6 gears, of course. Reaching close to 200 kilometers an hour. As we go now then onto the back straight, 205 kilometers an hour. Coming into this right-hander. Getting down to about 130, 120. And accelerating out of it again. Can he try and get into the slipstream of Winston Eckel? 210 kilometers an hour, braking into the hairpin, coming down to around 80 kilometers an hour. So losing 120 kilometers an hour in, or 130 actually, in the span of 50 meters which isn't a lot. It's very, very impressive of these cars. Winston Eckel looks like he is having a bit of trouble. Into the slipstream he goes now. What can he do? Can he try and get past into maybe the right-hander before the long straight, before the back straight? Has a big gap to catch Sven Merckx. This would be good for Winston Eckel, his championship chances, if he stays ahead here of Axel. Around the outside or down the inside, the door is open. Comes from really, really far back. And that is a touch, and that is Axel around. That was a bit ambitious there, I think, from Axel, from so far back. First, it looked like he was going to make the corner, but at the end, he was nowhere near making it. That is him, I think, out with a chance at a podium position. Let's take a look at what happened exactly here. From the outside you can see it. Down the inside from really, really, really far back. Getting a snap of oversteer and then just driving into Winston Eckel. That is not what you want to see happening. Winston Eckel can continue, I think. Axel is into the pit lane. That promotes Jake Smedley up into P4. Crazy things are happening this race. Franklin Groot now. Into, I think, the last sector now. Can he get ahead and up to P5 maybe? Before he gets to Axel. Behind there you can see is already Jorge Lopez. That is very, very unfortunate there for Axel. He had really, really quick pace. Did not need to do it that quickly. And it looks like he is out of the pit lane again. Yes, he is. There we can see him. Jorge Lopez. In the background is Sven Merckx. As we have 5 minutes to go in this race, Jorge Lopez, almost a gap of 10 seconds. If he throws this away now, it's really all his own fault. He can do as easy as he wants with the back markers. He can go by them as whatever he wants, whenever he thinks he can get past safely. There's absolutely no pressure from behind or anything. Winston Eckel ahead now of Jake Smedley by 23 seconds. 2 seconds behind Sven Merckx. Oh, as Winston Eckel goes around. That is not what you want to see. But it is what Jake Smedley likes to see. Of course, getting closer now to Winston Eckel. Sven Merckx released from the pressure that was building up because Winston was getting close. Is he now into the pit lane, Winston Eckel? Yes, he is. Into the pit lane for maybe a drive-through. I think it is a drive-through for Winston Eckel. Where is Jake Smedley is the question. How much time will he lose having to serve a drive-through? And can Jake Smedley get close? No, he is into his pit box. Jake Smedley up into the podium positions now. This is not exactly what he needed. Winston Eckel there having that spin. Axel Guzman now can try and get ahead of Winston. Jake Smedley, what a story. Said before he came into this race, I'm 2 seconds off the pace. Being 2 seconds off the pace, he is currently in a podium position. And if nothing happens to him, that is a legit podium position. Behind that though, Sven Merckx now coming up to him. Never mind, that is Sven Merckx on his own. He's gonna get past Franklin Groot in a bit. 2 minutes left in this race. 2 laps left for Sven Merckx to hold on to the second place. Jorge Lopez just set the fastest lap last time around, and a absolute new fastest lap of the evening, 1:28.36. Very, very, very close. But Jake Smedley, what a story. Up into P3, onto the podium positions. Can he keep it together? Jorge Lopez, all he has to do now really is turn the laps, and then he'll be winner of this the feature race. Jorge Lopez across the line to get the white flag. Jake Smedley has gained 8th position, started 11th this race, avoided the accident in the beginning. and is now up into P3. That will be the story of the evening. As you see a lot of smoke there. What has happened there? Winston Eckel left pit lane in P6. He is right now. Franklin Groot up into P5, up into P5 as well. He has spun a lot of times, but he kept it out of the wall and on track, and that is going to pay off now. Michael van Ellerswijk in 8th, driving his laps. Martin Hobson in 7th. He will not be happy with that, as he overtakes, I think, Winston Eckel. Yes, it was. He was overtaken by Winston Eckel. These two back at it again. Jorge Lopez wins the feature race ahead of Sven Merckx. Jake Smedley then comes through in third if he can keep it together. And rounding off the final corners then, Jake Smedley through the final corner, nothing happening, and he is going to come through to take P3 in the feature race, and he will be very, very, very happy with that. Behind that is Axel Guzmel getting up into P4, picking up where he left off once he crashed into Winston Eckel. Franklin Groot across the line into P5, so a good result for him as well. Well then. We have the result in for the feature race. Let's take a look at it. Here we have it. Jorge Lopez wins the feature race ahead of Sven Merckx. Takes Smedley in third. Fourth is Axel Guzmel. Fifth is Franklin Groot. Very, very good result for both Jake Smedley and Franklin Groot. Winston Eckel in sixth. Seventh is Martin Hobson. Eighth, Michael van Ellerswijk. Ninth, Morningsheiser. Finn Willis in 10th. Jesse Doorgeest in 11th. 12th is Danny Burns. 4 drivers with a DNF in this race. Not really what you want to see at the halfway point of a season. Looking at this now, we have, of course, our winner of the feature race in here now, Jorge Lopez. Welcome.
Hello, good night all.
Well, Jorge, tell me, you had a very late start, I think, in the sprint race, but then coming back, of course, with the reverse grid, starting from pole position in the feature race. Tell us how your evening went on a whole.
Yes, I have to go out, and I was sure I was going to miss the quali, but I was hoping to come back and can start from the back of the grid. But instead of this, I was late here, and I have to start from pits. Almost lapped. I think just 15 seconds ahead of the leaders pack. And well, I just did my race. I have good luck because one of the drivers entered to pit, and I was ending on 10th position. And yes, by this I was starting on pole. I think I'm very upset because I think I had the pace to win both heats today,
Yeah,
but
you certainly did.
well, yes, but there's some things on on real life that become important very quickly, and yes, I have to miss the start of the first hit, and
Yeah.
just start from pole and win some like easy and boring race, because I think I just have to say it's a bit shame because just 10
Yeah.
or 12 drivers.
Yeah.
I want to say I want to show my full support to Marnix, okay, to this series, because I'm enjoying it a lot, and I think it will be very fun to have more drivers. We had, I think, more than 30 drivers signing up at the start
Yeah.
of the season, and we only have 10 drivers on the grid, and I think this is a shame because
Yeah.
we could have a very fun race with more drivers.
Yeah, of course.
So this is a bad part of winning with just 10 drivers on the grid, but a win is a win. I mean, and I think Winston had a bad race on this second hit, and the other guys that was ahead of me on the championship didn't start the race. So
Yeah.
I think it will help me to go up on the championship. And well, not the best win I will dream, but it's a win. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's a win nonetheless, of course. But yeah, I mean, of course, you can be very happy with the result still. With only 10 people, there were a lot of very quick people still in here. With Jesse Dorcas, of course, a very fast driver, like we saw
Yes.
in the sprint race. Winston Eckel, a very fast driver, as Axel was. So still a lot of fast drivers in this race. So I think you can be very happy with first. And yeah, thank you, of course, for the compliments to the league and to Marnix. Marnix will definitely take them, and great to hear you having fun. Um, Next week, I think we have Silverstone coming up.
Well, I also like Silverstone. Yes.
Yeah, we have next week. We have Silverstone coming up, so maybe that's a very good track to show what these cars can do. But yeah, Jorge, again, amazing to speak to you. Thank you for your time. Great to hear you enjoying it, and I would love to see you back again in the field next week.
Yes. Yes. Thanks to you all for the championship and the stream. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
you. Good night.
Well then, let's move straight on to our second placed finisher of the feature race. Sven, welcome.
What's up, man?
Sven, you had, I think, two very good races, of course, in the first race, falling a little bit behind, I think, Marnix and Winston.
Yeah.
But in the second race, really keeping up with the pace the drivers at the front had. Of course, Jorge a little bit too fast, but still coming through
he
in
was.
second.
Yeah, that was quite good, but yeah, it's a shame. Yeah, a few drivers only showed up.
Yeah, true.
That's a bummer. But yeah, I'm happy with my result. But yeah, we need to have a talk with all the drivers who signed up because we have 42 sign-ups, and yeah, there are only 12 guys are showing up. I want to thank all the 12 of them for showing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really a shame.
Yeah. Well, Sven, at least did you have fun in the race, of course, today?
Yes, I had. Yes, I had.
Okay, well, that is at least great to hear then. Well, Sven, of course, a good season for you now. Of course, with a lot of drivers ahead of you not really showing up.
Standing. Yes.
That will move you up, I think, with this good result of this evening into a top 5 position in the championship. How are you looking at that?
I'm pretty happy with that. That's the aim, to be honest. Was in the start of the season to gain a top 5. I know I'm not a championship caliber, but yeah, I'm still a solid driver. I'm a silver, so you can call it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
Sven.
happy with.
Yeah. Well, of course, Sven. Thank you for your time. Great to hear you're enjoying it, and I would love to
Uh,
see you again out there next week.
no. Tomorrow we going to England.
Oh, that is true. But next week in the F4s, we are going to England as well.
Yeah, 2 times in England.
Yes.
Maybe I stay a week.
Maybe you stay a week, maybe not.
Yeah. Oh, good man.
Well, Sven, thank you for your time, and until next week.
Yes. Till next
Bye
week.
bye. Well, then we move on to a man who I don't think will be happy with the result, of course, in the feature race. But in the first heat, of course, he showed at least a little bit of speed, and that he was able to keep up with one of the fast drivers, Winston Eckel. Marnix, welcome.
Thanks.
Marnix, tell us about how your sprint race went, because I think your feature race didn't last longer than the first corner.
The sprint race was quite fine. I could actually keep up with Winston, which I was surprised to be honest. And yeah, unfortunately, didn't have the concentration to keep up with him. And I just thought, let's bring it home and let's start a good feature race. But that didn't last long. It only lasted 2 corners, and then I steered in a bit too early and got hit from behind. And I mean, I did steer in too early, but I didn't expect the other driver who was behind me to brake so way later than I am. I think it was Finn Wiles. But next race, as I think Sven said, will be the last one. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough show-ups, which was unfortunately because we had like 30 signups at the start of the season, which I thought was
Yeah.
enough. Because if I knew they wouldn't show up, I would have done way more in my power to get more people into the league.
Yeah. Yeah, well, of course, Marnix, we know it's out of your control whether people show up or not, but yeah, I think everyone who is looking is enjoying it. I certainly did enjoy it again tonight. I enjoyed Imola, Brands Hatch, and Okayama today. So I certainly hope that next week at Silverstone we can close it off at a
We'll
high.
have Zandvoort for the for the final race because we already had a uh, British track, so we'll be racing at Zandvoort next week.
Okay, so Zandvoort it is then next week.
Yes.
Monix, thank you for your time.
You too, mate. Appreciate it.
And love to see you out there next week.
Thanks. Cheers. See you.
Well. Let's talk then to someone who I think will be very happy. Although it was only with 12 drivers, he will be very happy with the result he got today. Jake, welcome.
Hi Dan, thanks for having me. I'm very happy.
Yeah, well, Jake, it's been, of course, a very good week for you at the moment. First of all, getting announced as commentator together with me for PAC. So I first of all want to say congratulations to you for
Thank
that. And of course now getting third, I think your highest finish in a PRL event ever.
It is, yeah. I
So-
never wanted a race to end so quickly. The last 2 minutes, I was just shaking. I was just like, please finish.
Well, tell us, how did you, of course, get to P3?
Well, I mean, I had a not great sprint race, as you probably saw on stream
Yeah.
with the crash. But after that, my car had slight. I don't know if you could see it on stream, but it had slight wheel knock out of alignment. So I pitted for the front wing, but I didn't want to take the minute repairs for the wheels. So, but for each race, not too good of a start. Got into the mix during turn 1, and then obviously barely avoided the 2 crashes that happened on lap 1. But then held P6 for quite a while, and then when you're P6 and you're off the pace quite a bit, you just rely on other people making mistakes, and that played into my favour today.
Yeah. Well, of course, talking about your sprint race, you were doing well up until the point I think you had that accident and spun off. It looked like, of course, you lost your front wing, but you say there was also a little bit of steering knock.
Yeah, my
Uh,
wheels were slightly knocked to the right.
Okay, so that made driving, I think, very, very difficult. Of course, driving without a front wing here in this car. You, I think, underestimate the amount of downforce that front wing creates.
Yeah, you gotta. If you drive these cars without a front wing, you're not gonna make it many turns, as you saw the second spin I had without a front wing, because you're pushing the car and you're just trying to get the most out of it. But if you don't have that downforce, then air's not gonna go over it properly. But I pitted for the front wing and it became sort of drivable. The knocking out of alignment wasn't too bad, so I could finish the race.
Yeah. Well, Jake, congratulations on your third place in the feature race. Thank you for your time. Next week, I've heard, is gonna be the last one. We're gonna skip Silverstone because we already had a race in the UK, so we're gonna go straight to the Netherlands, to Zandvoort. So looking forward to that one. What are you looking forward to most to? Of course, Zandvoort, a very, very fast track at the hole with these cars. Very tricky.
Yeah, it's quite a fast track,
Yeah.
and it'll probably be good for overtakes. But hopefully, if we get a few more people in, or more people show up for Zandvoort, because it's a great league, this one, and
Yeah.
it's just a shame that not many people have showed up. But yeah, hopefully a good result there as well.
Yeah. Jake, thank you for your time, and
Thank you.
love to see you out there next week.
See you next week.
See you. Well then, we round it off then. We had a very, very great evening. Of course, sad that not a lot of drivers did show up. Of course, you want to have more drivers. Ideally, as you heard, next week is going to be the last one. We of course had 2 races still planned. That was Silverstone and Zandvoort. We're going to skip Silverstone since we already had, I think, Brands Hatch. Excuse me. We already had Brands Hatch. So we're going to skip Silverstone. We're going to go straight to Zandvoort. So, of course, looking forward to that. PRT's home track. Or home track, at least. Home race, not a home track. Because it's a long way off of where, of course, PRT is located. But, having said all of that, I hope you enjoyed it. We're not sure if there's a broadcast next week. We have to see how many people show up. I hope a lot of people show up. We can have a very great ending to the season. Until then, everyone, thank you for watching. And from me, from everyone in the league, and from every PRT and PRL member, thank you for supporting us and watching the stream. And we'll see you next week.